All right, so one of the other things is school finishes at 3 o'clock sharp. So sometimes, emergencies might happen and you can't get up here until 5 past, 10 past 3. That's okay. If it's an extreme case and you're running really late, like 3:15 or 20 past 3, we ask that you call the office to let us know that you're running late, and we can hold them just to make sure that they're safe and let them know that you're on your way. But it is very important to know that school does finish at 3 and they must be collected at 3 o'clock. Okay, so we don't want children left over till 3:30 or 3:40. Teachers have meetings almost every afternoon, so often there's not people that can sit and wait and watch them. So it's very important that you organise yourself or whoever's picking your child up that they're on time at 3 o'clock. Okay, so this is where the homeschool liaison officer comes a little bit into play. So if your child's attendance does become a concern, and it can be that it's the whole day attendance, or it can be that they are constantly late to school. If there is an issue, you'll find that if you're having the issue at home, like for instance, they don't want to come to school or they're sleeping in, you can let us know and we can try and help you in that manner, and we can try and talk with the child or try and put strategies in place that can help them get to school on time. But you might find that if your child has 3 consecutive days off, you might find that your child's teacher or myself as the assistant principal, sometimes the deputy principal, or even Mr. Topuska will give you a phone call just to find out if everything's okay, and just to make sure that, is there anything we can do to help, or basically just to find the reason out why your child's had 3 days absence in a row. And then we record that down as a parent communication just so that we are aware of what's going on. So for instance, if your child has an infection in the chest and, sometimes they take a week or so to clear up, that's okay. And of course, that's fine. If they're very sick, we don't send them to school because it will just make them more sick. You keep them home, you take them to the doctor, you bring the medical certificate back with your child at school, or the notes to explain why they've been away. Okay, if it continues with high absences and attendance concerns, then you'll probably have a meeting with myself, the deputy principal, or Mr. Topuska sometimes as well. As a very last resort, your child may be referred to the homeschool liaison officer that I was telling you about before, but that is in extreme cases. So that's where we're talking about we haven't seen the child for weeks on end, and as I mentioned before, attendance rates need to be about 85%. Sometimes if the attendance rate drops below 85% and it's constantly below 85%, that's when the homeschool liaison officer can step in and just see, is there any assistance that you might need, and how can we support you to get your child to school on time? Okay, so very important, child's attendance at school. Okay, so sometimes it's unavoidable that you are going to be travelling, and the travelling, sorry, I giggled to myself a little bit because there's not much travelling happening at the moment with COVID. If it does, borders start to open up, for instance, and travelling starts to happen, that is okay, but we do ask that you let us know at the front office. So families are encouraged to take that travel time during school holidays, but sometimes things come up and actually does happen during school time. So it's necessary that you go to the front office and complete an application for extended leave. And this will be approved by the principal, but the absence then will be marked down as an explained absence. So then we won't be making those phone calls to you asking you where your child is. So it's important, if you're going to take a long time off school due to travel, that you, 1, apply at the office and have the principal approve it, but 2, then it just informs the teachers that, okay, this child's not at school for the next 3 weeks and we'll be back on this date. Okay, but please note also that those absences that you take due to travel, they are actually contribute to the child's absences for the year. So 2 times during the year, you'll get a school report outlining what your child can do, and attendance is often talked about on the back. So you'll find that attendance will be written how many whole days they've had away and how many partial days they've had. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about potentially travelling next year and into years 1, 2, 3, all the way through to 6. So if your child's absent for more than 50 days, there is such a thing as what's called distance education, but that will need to be discussed with Mr. Tapuska. So if you have any questions in relation to travel, or it does come up where you can actually start to travel again, pop into the front office and the ladies will assist you with any questions you may have. Okay, I'm going to hand you over to Mrs. Evangelista. So she's going to talk to you about her role in the community and some of the things that have been happening this year and last year with her community liaison officer role.
So do I use
use this one. Oh, whatever.
Do I show my video?
Do you have video?
No, it's in my face.
Yeah.
I just do that?
Yeah.
But I live in...
Okay.
Hi, parents. Hi. Some of you might already know me. I also work in the office. Oh, sorry. Hang on. You got yours. Hi, can you hear me? Sorry, was muted. Some of you already know me. I work at the office as well. So I just want to quickly chat about how important your role is at the school. Your connection to the school makes a difference in your child experience here. So it's a benefit for their well-being and their learning that you stay connected with the school. So my role as a community liaison officer is to create those connections for you. And I'll just give an example of some things that our parents are involved in at the school. This year has been very challenging. We couldn't do all the activities we did last year. So the pictures I'll show you was what we did last year. So we have homework information sessions. This is a big topic. A lot of parents are unsure about homework time and how much time children should spend in the afternoons doing homework. So we have a session for you to understand a little bit more about that. We offer, to all our parents there. We also have an information session about if your child is attending for the first time this year. The only sibling, mathematics information session. This showed parents some interesting ways on how to basically learn maths with their children. Some fun things, some games, cooking in the class, at home, which helps them learn maths. So that was a great lesson that we did for our parents. TAFE. So we offer TAFE courses here for parents. You receive a certificate and that helps you with employment. We have done a beauty course, which women attended that one. We had a computer and what's called computer and data media course, something like that. I don't know, it's too technical for me. We did start that this year and then COVID came along. So unfortunately, unfortunately for us, we didn't see the parents here, but they're finishing it off at the TAFE College at the moment. So that's pretty exciting. And we offer different courses depending on the demand. So if you have something in particular you would like to study, you can let me know and I can chase it up for you. What else? We've gone to Kusula Powerhouse on an excursion with parents. So we can do that. Hopefully next year we're allowed to do more things together. So hopefully we can do like a beach trip or, some interesting places we could visit around Sydney. And the other thing that my role covers is also about well-being. So families, we understand that there are times in life when you might be going through a storm yourselves and you might find challenges with either work, you might have lost your job, you might have financial worries, you might need counselling, you might be going through a tough time, something might have happened in life that has just unexpected, and you don't realise it affects the whole family, even the children that are coming to school. You don't realise that they are affected by things that happen in families. So My role is to also connect you to the local agencies that are in our area. So one that I'm showing at the moment is Family Referral Service